chicken fingers out there? Yeah, that's not bad, right? Can't complain about that. It is Coach Lockwood. Are you ready for the announcements? What'd you have for breakfast? Was it good? Perfect. All right, announcements. Here we go, everybody. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes, we kindly ask you to silence your cell phones. That includes me. Yesterday it caught me. Here's how the press conferences will proceed for those who are new today. The winning coach and student athletes will come to the dais. The winning coach will make an opening statement, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes. Please raise your hand, and a mic will be brought to you. This is critical because the press conferences are all being transcribed, and the transcription needs to be able to hear all of the questions. Student athletes then will be dismissed, and they'll go back to the locker room. And then we'll have questions for the coach, and we have Dean Lockwood, who is going to be here sitting in for the coach for Michigan State. For those members on Zoom, please keep your mics muted, and if you wish to ask questions, use the raise hand function and we'll call on you. And at that time, please unmute your mic and ask your question, then remute your microphone. Then the winning coach will be dismissed, and we'll do the same thing again with the non-victorious team. Recordings of each press conference will be uploaded to the tournament Dropbox. Everybody see those that needed those yesterday? And for a link for the Dropbox, email Tournament Media Coordinator Chris Masters. Transcripts from each press conference will be posted in the official tournament website, big10.org, and emailed to credentialed media following each game of the tournament. As a reminder, the locker rooms are all closed to all media after each game. If you wish to interview a student athlete or coach not brought to the press conference, please text Tournament Director Chris Masters, and he'll set up a place for you to get your breakout interviews. For those here to film today's press conference, please set up on the platform in the back at the malt box table to capture the audio. I don't think anybody here needs to do that yet. And following the championship game on Sunday, an awards presentation will take place at mid-court. Photographers and minicams will have access to the floor apron for the ceremony. The NCAA selection show will take place Sunday, March 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. You can request your media members to apply for credentials through the NCAA website. For media members on site, we are pleased to offer regular meals, snacks, and beverages, and we hope you're enjoying them. They will be here shortly. For the what? Oh, the transcript will be, once it's done, will be uploaded, and everybody should get an email on that. That's what my list says. Did it? Well, I'm pretty sure we'll get going a little more today. We're moving everybody around.
1 and 4 for Nebraska. So
okay, very well.
So FYI, if you guys need anybody aside from Shelly Heide for Nebraska or Joyner or Hagen. So
1 and 5, you said?
1 and
Four. Okay.
Coley? Yep, got it. We'll bring her after the press conference.
Can't get out there.
There we go. All right.
Zoom call. We are still standing by waiting here. So thank you for your patience. I was told they're on their way. All right, just to reiterate, Coach will take the, we'll make an opening statement, and then we will go to the student athletes before they're dismissed back to the locker room. Reminder for those on the Zoom call that to raise your hand and we will get to your question. So, Coach, if you're ready to have an opening statement,
Sure.
let us know what you thought.
No, I'm just first of all, just very, very proud of this team, just for their resilience and their grit today. We just talked about that in the locker room just now. We had a 13-point lead, and I have to go back and look at the exact time frame, but I think it was 6-something, close to 7 minutes left in the game, and we were up 13. And obviously, we know we're playing a very good Nebraska team. We have a lot of respect for that team, leading the league in three-point attempts. They've got a prolific scoring team. They got Shelley, who's the hottest player in the league right now for our money. And so, again, we knew this was a task. We knew they had kick and fight left in them. But we're very proud of this team, the grit and resilience. I think this team has really committed defensively here more in recent days, and it's shown. It's shown. And, again, just these two players here are stalwarts for us defensively, but just our team, this was all about our team. So we can get into numbers and things later, but I just want to say we are so proud of the grit and the unity and the resilience of this basketball team today. Very proud.
Okay, do we have any questions for the student athletes?
Hi, Cindy Smith from Her Hoop Stats. In a close game like this or in any game, how important is the great start at the first quarter and the fourth quarter to kind of set the tone?
It's always important. Like, we've had a lot of close games this year, and we look back at like our start of our quarters, and we're like, okay, we took a punch there, and we didn't come back. So like, I remember in a couple huddles, we're like, okay, let's go out. Every 5 minutes at a time. Each 5 minutes after the media timeout, we got to make a punch. So it's extremely important.
Yeah, I feel like the way we start is, the way we finish. So just us starting and, defense, transition, I feel like it put us in a good spot for the game.
Do we have any other questions right here?
Hi, Terry Horstman from the Next. Congrats on the win. Anytime the momentum seemed to shift in Nebraska's favor, you guys seem to have an answer right away. Dede, I think, with both lead changes, it was a bucket from you that took the lead right back within 10 seconds one time. I think it was less than a minute the other time. What were some of the things you were able to do on the floor to shift momentum right back into your direction after they were, getting closer?
I feel like it was a lot of time left, so just keeping our composure, just taking it just one, possession at a time. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Dean, I think you guys made your first 5 shots of the fourth quarter. What was that like, and how did you do that?
Oh, we planned for that. We that's just something we practice every. We're going to say, okay, we're starting the third quarter. Make every shot. Start fourth. Make every shot. No, we've been as one of these young ladies had alluded to. We've had some up and down moments, and I just think, again, I attribute everything to our players, their execution. I think their awareness. We talk a lot about awareness. Awareness is more important than intelligence in basketball. Just being aware of who you are, being aware of what a good shot is. And I thought their awareness level during that time was very good. They were working together. Basketball has been, and always will be a team game. As great as any one individual will be, when a team works in sync with one another, that's when the beauty of basketball really happens. And Colin Powell used to call it a force multiplier. When a group of people work together, whether it's 5, 10, or 20, it magnifies the effectiveness of the group. And I think that's what this team did in that stretch. And so, again, I just credit them with being aware and really working together to make each other look good.
Dean, what type of players do you have to have both athletically and mentality to play full court defense like you do at times?
You got to have warriors. Got to have warriors. You got to have people that aren't afraid to put it out there every single game, not take possessions off. And, we've been a work in progress in that department. I'll be honest with you. But I'm really proud of what this team is showing right now because, number one, we always kid coaches. There's an inside joke in recruiting, right? We talk, everybody, when you talk to players, hey, I want to play fast. I want to run and run. Then when you really run and practice, I don't want to run anymore. Hey, when are we going to stop? So these players have embraced that. And again, part of success in basketball or life is knowing who you are, knowing what your strengths are, knowing who you are. We talk about our strength. We're not as big as Nebraska, but we have quickness, and we like our quickness, and we like our ability to harass people. So to answer your question specifically, you have to have players that really buy into that. And they're going to do that for a 40-minute period, whether things are going good or not good. They've bought in, and they're doing. And the other piece is this: holding each other accountable. And that's what I'm seeing more in this group, is that they're holding each other accountable. Part of loving people, sometimes in our world today, accountability is like a bad thing. It's a great thing. When I love somebody, we care about them, we hold them accountable. And I've seen this group do this with each other.
Okay, do we have any questions for the student athletes? We need to move them along. Coach will come back. You go ahead.
Haley Jordan, Sports Illustrated Indiana. You guys handed Indiana their first loss of the season, a ranked team. That was such a huge accomplishment. What worked for you so well in that win to be able to accomplish that?
The same thing it did today, you know. That's one of the games where it got close and we pulled out with a win, and it was honestly defense and sticking together. You know, when we do that, we have each other's backs. We're really hard to beat, and I think tomorrow I'm excited to play them again. So.
Yeah, I'll have to say unity of purpose. That's how we beat Indiana. Just saying locked in all 40 minutes.
Do we have any questions for the student athletes on the Zoom call? Please raise your hand. Looks like we have Bella Johnson.
Yes, hi. I know earlier in the season, there were a few games where you've always been good at forcing turnovers, and there were a few games where you were struggling converting those turnovers into points, and you guys did a pretty good job of that today, especially early on. Is there something that you've seen going differently recently towards the end of the season, or something different that you worked on that has made those changes to make those points?
I think we're like very self-aware. We know like that has been a ongoing thing during the season. So like we just talk about it. We do execution drills, like stuff like that. So we just know we need to take the right shots, shot selection, and things, and look for each other. So.
Piggyback off that, I feel like our defense is what makes us. I feel like if we go in, locked in on defense, then it always translates into offense.
All right, next on the Zoom, we have Brian Calloway from the Lansing State Journal. Brian?
Yeah, this is for Mo. Mo, I believe there was a stretch during that fourth quarter where I think you had 3 straight baskets during that run. As a veteran, kind of describe your mentality in a Big Ten tournament situation like this and stepping up to help your team, kind of build an advantage there.
Going into that fourth quarter, I remember I looked at Didi. I was like, okay, we need to get a cushion here. Like, Nebraska's a very good team. So not necessarily kept looking for my shot, because I know I was looking for my teammates too, but that was just kind of the mindset I had at that point.
All right, now we're back to Bella Johnson again. Follow-up.
For both Moira and Didi, you guys, as of late, you've won 4 of your last 5, and during the season, it seemed like you guys would always find yourself in a hole trying to come back, and as of late now, it seems like you guys have been taking leads late into these games and kind of finishing them out, as in like the Minnesota game on Senior Day, along with this one. Do you guys think you, as a team, you're finally starting to put together a consistent game, especially during the most important time of the year of this season?
Like I said before, I feel like our defense is what makes us. So just us owning in on defense, and just everybody, on the same page. I feel like that's how, we became so consistent.
Yeah, I just think that towards the end of the year, this is the time you want to come together as a team. Teams either come together or they don't. And, we talk about that all the time, and talk isn't a lot, and it's action. But if everyone has the same mindset, that's where things happen.
Okay, no more calls, no more questions from the Zoom. Any more for the student athletes right now? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, I'm
You
here.
can stay right where you
Gotcha.
are.
Oh,
You're on the hot
I thought
seat
I was
still.
off the hook.
Really? All right, any solo questions for Coach?
Yes. Yeah, you.
Stand by.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Stand by.
Yeah.
Haley Jordan, Sports Illustrated Indiana. I'll ask you.
Got to get the microphone, Haley. Yeah, transcription, and for everyone to hear.
Yes, absolutely. Haley Jordan, Sports Illustrated Indiana. I'll ask you the same question. You know, big task going up against Indiana tomorrow. What worked so well for you in handing them their first loss of the season earlier this year?
Yeah, Haley, I was hoping you could help me with that. You know, it's been so long, and you know, I just told him in there. I said, you know, I'm dating myself with this one, but I said I feel like we just knocked out Frazier, and now we got Ali waiting for us. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, holy cow. But no, I think to answer your question in all seriousness, we were very much who we are in that game. We pressed, we pressured. You know, obviously you've got to make shots. Defense and rebounding can certainly keep you in games, but you also have to make some shots. You have to score points. So we had some people, you know, produce in that game. And again, I thought our shot selection was pretty good. And again, Indiana is a very, very good team. I think without Grace Berger, we got the Indiana with Grace Berger now. So that's another task we're going to have to, you know, once we can enjoy this for another 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to think about that and get right back to more headaches. But I just think, to go to your question, we were who we were, and we stayed consistent with that. It's very easy sometimes, especially when you play a really good team who's very prolific. You can get swept away by the current. You can get sucked into a game that you don't want to play. So I think for us, we were very much in sync and staying the course with who we were in that game.
Do we have any further questions from the Zoom call? Looks like we're going back to Bella Johnson. That Al?
Coach, kind of the same question I have for you as for the players. From your perspective, do you think your team is finally starting to figure out how to, you know, just pull out these sort of wins instead of, you know, trailing at one point in the game and then trying to force a comeback rather than you guys you keep a lead consistently throughout and then finish off teams in the end? Do you see kind of a difference going now that the season's kind of in the most important stretch?
We hope we're maturing. We hope we're maturing in that way. I think we've gotten better. It's kind of like sometimes, you know, I'm not a parent, but I talk to parents and talked to one the other day that said, I have a 13-year-old. I wish I could press the button and make them 25, you know. So we'd love to be able to push a button and mature teams at a faster rate. But I think we are growing in that area, Bella. I think we've shown that we don't get as rattled. We made some bigger plays. Obviously, in a close game, you have to make big plays. You just simply have to make big plays. And players make plays, you know. So, again, I credit our team with being able to do that. But I could give you the flip side of that coin. Obviously, you know, we practice with a 3-point lead, giving an opponent 2 open shots at the end of the game. We practice that, right? So we've still got growth to do. There's still growth and maturing to do. But, again, I think, to go to your question specifically, I do think we have matured. I think we've come further along the path. And again, we're proud of our team for embracing that growth.
All right, any follow-up questions from the Zoom call? Anyone in the room? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
All right, just a reminder again, we'll have questions for a coach will make an opening statement, and then the student athletes will get questions, and then we'll release them, allow them to go back to the locker room, and then coach can stay here and answer any other questions. All right, so do we have any, do you have an opening statement?
Just obviously we're incredibly disappointed to lose. We came up here to win and advance and make a run in this tournament, so it's incredibly disappointing to walk away with this loss. I thought our kids fought to the final buzzer, but just did not play the complete 40 minutes that it takes to win this time of year.
Okay, do we have any questions in the room for the student athletes?
Yes, Sam, they got up 10 there real quick in the fourth quarter. Just what you guys have to do to get back in the game?
Obviously we got off to a really bad start in the fourth quarter, and we've been talking about that all season. If we want to win games, we have to come out ready to go from the jump. But like Coach said, I thought we gave a lot of fight, and we never gave up and gave ourselves a chance at the end.
Jazz, you guys get within 3 there. Just that last 16 seconds, how did you feel about the chances you got out of that situation?
Yeah, like Sam said, we fought to the end, and I think that we executed very well. And there was everyone on our team really wanted to win that game, so we did absolutely everything we could, and I think that I'm proud of us for that.
Did you get the shot you wanted there with 5 seconds left, 10 seconds left?
Not necessarily, no, but we found a way to still play through it.
Jess, what the turnovers, I guess, what you're going to have some turnovers, but what are the turnovers that were really deflating or crushing for you guys
Yeah,
today?
it was definitely that press to start off with. You're never going to win a game if you start like that. It's just they sped us up, and we didn't respond very well, and that's why I think that we lose by 3.
Do we have any more questions from the Zoom call for the student athletes? Any more questions for them in the room here?
Sam, what are you impressed by what Michigan State did in that game?
I think they did a good job of getting us out of rhythm to start the game. We're a team that likes to push the pace and kind of get things going up and down, but they did a great job of putting on that press and slowing us down and making us unsure and hesitant on how we're going to run our offense.
Okay, no more questions from the Zoom call? All right, thank you, ladies. Questions for the coach in the room?
Yeah, and I think you had 4 turnovers in the first 2 minutes or so. I guess what was the must to recovering and getting back into the game there?
Yeah, I thought we just needed to take a deep breath. I think we were playing in those first few minutes as if we knew there was a lot on the line and just kind of tight and tense and not very focused. So the things that we really felt like needed to happen to break the pressure, we were just kind of forgetting about. We had the wrong person, take the ball out of bounds one possession. We had, just kind of some uncharacteristic turnovers that I think, maybe just showed a little bit of kind of uptight. And I think once we took a deep breath and kind of settled in, I thought we tried to fight back from that, but we just had too many stretches. The 11-0 run that came, I think, after we took a lead there late in the third or something, we just can't have those type of lulls against a team like Michigan State, or frankly, for that matter, anybody in the Big Ten Conference or anybody that we would be playing this time of year.
I mean, they're obviously going to hit some shots, but I guess defensively, what were the breakdowns that allowed them to get that big run there at the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what comes to mind the most, we felt like that, we were going to need to out-rebound them. We did that. We had the advantage on the offensive rebounds. We held them to only 5 offensive rebounds. Those were things that were really key, but the one defensive key was to keep the ball in front of us and not let them get to the paint off penetration. And I thought there were too many breakdowns in that area. There was times where it didn't matter if it was Dee Hageman or Matilda Eck or really it could have been any of them, but Joyner really hurt us, hit a couple big mid-range pull-ups. McDaniel, when they got to the paint for paint touches, points, but also for inside-outside kickouts. And our inability to contain that penetration really cost us, I thought. And that was evident with their 38 points in the paint, or 36 to our 18.
All right, any other questions in the room? Do we have any questions on the Zoom call? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.